Welcome back to the Nash Potatoes Outdoor Show. Today I'm 2.5 hours southwest of Colorado Springs at Great Sand Dunes National Park. This is Travel Vlog 53. Don't go anywhere. So as many of you know, I grew up in Michigan and we've got quite a few sand dunes over there. Silver Lake sand dunes are a ton of fun. They allow dune buggies to roam free. Sleeping Bear Dunes is another big one. Actually used to go to Van Buren State Park. They've got pretty good climbing sand dunes there. But I've got some information about this place before we get started. This is actually considered a national park and preserve. Altogether they have 149,000 acres. It was established in 1932. They actually contain the tallest sand dune in North America at 750 feet tall, and they see about 500,000 visitors each year. So I know a lot of the blogs, people have been asking, is this place even worth visiting? I mean, it's just sand dunes, you know, is probably what a lot of people are assuming. So I'm about to answer that question. Is the Great Sand Dune National Park worth visiting? Let's go find out.
Whole podcast about sand.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, and they talked about how because it's a crucial ingredient in concrete, it's becoming more and more difficult to come by.
Okay.
Because like the easily accessible sand. So their vegetarian option was lettuce enchiladas. Like, just lettuce?
Boom! Me and my new friend Eric made it to the top. Where are we at, Eric? What's this called?
8,715 feet, Star Dune.
Star Dune, tallest dune in North America. What? This is sweet. Hey, we should pose this question to the audience. Does GPS calculate the total distance we're traveling in a straight line, or does it take into account the elevation change in addition to the straight line? Comment with your best guess. Eric thinks they calculate total distance, including the elevation. I think he's probably right. What do you guys think? Give me a comment down below. So I did find some trailhead parking here. I don't think I'm going to attempt this one today because the bugs are pretty bad. Mosquitoes and flies are wearing me down. But if you saw that video clip I just showed you, that piece of equipment was called a sand sled. And apparently you can rent those just outside the park for $20 for the day. They give you some wax to put on the bottom of it and kind of slick it up a little bit and make it faster. But the lady said she actually got airborne with that thing, so it looks like a lot of fun. If I ever come back, I'll probably rent one of those. These dunes, they shift every day from the wind. So there are steep faces all over the place that you can just sled down, or snow. Some people use snowboards, but I thought I'd mention that sand sled is what it was called. But let's keep on moving. Just getting ready to wrap up my day here at the Great Sand Dunes National Park in south central Colorado. I've got some info for you because this place is very unique. Wanted to mention a few things. So they've got 30 square miles of sand dunes. So just obviously unlimited hiking back there. The park consists of mostly, half of it appears to be sand dunes, and then the preserve side is actually the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. So I thought that was interesting. Half the park is sand dunes, half the park is mountains. So depending on what you want to do, Also, they have a campground here, which is probably almost impossible to get reservations, but let's talk about this hiking. Most of the national parks that I've been to is like a lot of driving, like Yellowstone. You just drive from point to point to point. It's not like that here. There are a couple of parking places, and then from there you break off and go hiking into the dunes. So this is what I recommend, or actually what I did. Most of the people are parking in the visitor center and then just walking up into the dunes, which is obviously loaded with people. That's probably not what you want to do if you're looking for a little unique experience. So I actually drove, it's called the Medano Pass Primitive Road. Drove up about a half a mile to a parking spot called the Point of No Return. And then from there you hike to what's called, they call the Sand Pit. And then from there you can hike to the tallest dune in North America at about 750 feet, 755 feet. It's called Star Dune. So a couple cool things about that is that from up there you can see everything. The view is amazing, as you could see from my video. Also, if you ever see any of these Instagram posts where people are snowboarding down the sand dunes, that's where they're doing it at. You could see the skid marks. Looked super, super cool. It actually rained last night, which is kind of nice because it made for a little bit nicer hiking conditions. But because it did rain, going through to the sand pit, through the bushes in that area was really just riddled with mosquitoes. So make sure you bring your bug spray. But what else do I have here? Okay, so you can actually drive further up that primitive road. If you have a high clearance vehicle with four-wheel drive, they recommend that you lower the tire pressure because it gets really sandy. So if you've got a big truck or a big Jeep, you can actually drive further into the mountains and do quite a bit more hiking than what I was able to do. So the only other hike that would have been available to me was this trail that went around the sand dunes, which was like 8 miles one way, and then it would have been 8 miles back. It might have been cool if I had a high clearance vehicle to get up into the mountains and do some hiking in the mountains, because there are quite a few lakes up that way that looked really beautiful. That's what they consider the preserve side of this national park. Also, they do allow horses here, and I don't know if the horses are allowed everywhere or just certain places, but it might be cool to bring some horses and get up in the mountains that way. But I wanted to say thanks to my new buddy Eric. We had an awesome time. He invited me to join him up to Star Dune. I much appreciated that because it made for a fun video, made for an awesome day, and hopefully sparked a new friendship. But that's all I've got for you today. Thanks for watching the Nash Potatoes Outdoor Show. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. We will see you next time. So just before you get to the entrance of the park, this place behind me is called the Oasis, and this is where you'll want to stop to get any food or drinks. The visitor center does not have food or drinks or anything like that, so if you want to grab a coffee, if you want to rent your little boards to slide down the sand dunes with, this is the place to stop. It'll be right before you get to the big sign that says Great Sand Dunes National Park. So this will be helpful info because it'll probably be smoking hot when you're here, and you're going to need a lot of water and Gatorade and all that kind of stuff. So be sure and stop in here, rent your sand dune board, and get some drinks. But that's all I've got for you. Thanks for watching.